making a video, inmendham video. Mostly, maybe about some other stuff too, but we'll see. So many things. I guess we'll just start with this, whatever it is. Snarky comment by Flyorah. Somebody drove me to. So anyway, she says, wow, inmendham against immigration. So white people invade South Africa, USA, Canada, whatever, half the world, and be like, UK is for Brits, no immigration. I don't even know how that UK bit has anything to do with me, but whatever. And so then she says, I'm not for immigration, just saying the hypocrisy. So there's something hypocritical about what I've said on the subject of immigration. I've said if I went to China, I would expect that I would become Chinese. I've said that. Like in every way I possibly can. I mean, you can't get shorter. I mean, Chinese are getting taller all the time, though. And, I certainly could dye my hair, Can't get rid of my... Well, anyway, I'm just saying, it would be my intention to become... one of them. I mean, to assimilate into their culture, and if I thought something was broken, I would, by the same process they fix things, attempt to fix things. I wouldn't in any way bring McDonald's with me and say, here's a habit of mine. Let me impose it on you. I would try to avoid it, let's just say. So where's the hypocrisy here? These immigrants are religious kooks. So right there, I should say, you don't even get the whole Constitution thing here, okay? We've been too pussy to be explicit, to say it overtly. Religious people are really dumb. Let's not have any kind of government sanction for stupidity. But that's the truth of it in principle, is that we're not respecters of religion. The word respect is actually in the document. If people read it the right way, it's sort of basically saying we're no respecters of. This isn't something the government needs to respect. It needs to respect rape and pillage and theft, but it doesn't need to respect religion. So anyway, but whatever. Fuck that shit. Fuck you. That's all I can say to this shit. Accuse me of hypocrisy. Whatever. Silly person. I mean, really, it's just silly. Like I said, it's a fact of life. If the Europeans didn't show up to North America, all the North American Indians would have been annihilated eventually by the Aztecs, who were taking over. In Africa, if the Zulus didn't fight with the white Europeans, the Zulus probably would have taken the rest of Africa. I mean, you just do the math. It's just the way of things. You could say Darky showed up to Australia, and what did he do? He killed everything, right? I mean, a ton of indigenous animals no longer existed long before Whitey showed up to make the game worse. So I'm just saying, it's just the nature of the living organism. It is invasive. That's what we do. And so the point is, the argument being made here is, what happens throughout human history through immigration is you lose your culture. You'll be annihilated by it. And it's just the truth. There's no happily ever after stories for the indigenous culture. It gets consumed by the invading culture. There's just nothing in the historical record to show that there's any permanence to a culture that doesn't protect itself, that doesn't have a border around it. The longer it maintains a border, the longer it had hope of maintaining its integrity. So, whatever. That's my opinion. If we're being invaded by our betters, if there was some version of the Europeans who showed up with big horses and metal-y stuff and shiny, and all kinds of impressive attributes that demonstrated that they are more advanced and they have gone down the progress road farther than we have. If those are the people invading, I don't think I'd have much of a fucking objection. But those aren't the people invading. They're regressive morons who want to fucking put crosses, crucifixes, and fucking prayer towers up all over the goddamn place. Fuck you. Anyway. Fucking people. What else? Yeah, what else? The old fan finally did post the F list, which I have to do some work on the website and this and that and do whatever promoting I can do. But yes, very nice, the movie. Very nice. So anyway, so what else? I mean, I guess I wanted to do some of the Santa Carnival stuff on free will. This is just kind of funny. But I really don't know if it's going to be worth anything. I know Thunderfoot did a video building a fucking model of the space shuttle. Giant one. I mean, it's like making miniature beetles. You know, like the beetles from, you know, out of whatever, paper mache. Isn't that a little old already? And they're not making any more of these stupid shuttles. The program was kind of like, well, unless you put some firecrackers in it, you're really not going to be realistic because, yeah, they do blow up. That's science. How sciencey. Sniffing glue. Yeah, very sciencey. Anyway, yeah, there's not much to comment on. Oh yeah, what's her face did do a video dressed in black and red, which are my colors actually. Yeah, I'm actually wearing black and red, right? Pretty cool. But yeah, that goes way back to my youth. You know, in the restaurant. And, yeah, that was the colors in the restaurant. Just worked for me. I liked it. So I'll put on my black and red hat, maybe. Not my hat. That's why it doesn't fit very well. But anyway, it's a found hat. It's mine now, of course. But blah 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 blah. All right. So there was something else I wanted to comment on, I think, but I can't find it at the moment. So we'll do a little bit of this intercontivada crappa. So we're at 2:37, so I'm going to reload this because it's probably not going to play from where it is. Anyway, so he goes on, the first 2 minutes here is talking about brains experience. Yeah, duh, we know that. Okay, individuals have brains, brains have experiences. Okay, got it. And this has something to do with the asymmetry, which again, he doesn't even really understand. You know, I mean, the asymmetry is just that simple argument that, you know, preventing a good is not a bad. You know, it's like winning the lottery isn't a bad thing. I mean, it's just not a good thing if you don't win. But it's not bad. It's not like you get tortured now. But preventing harm, preventing a bad thing, is always good in and of itself. You know, outside of some bigger picture, yeah, it's all win. That's the asymmetry. The two words don't work backwards because the nature of good is basically alleviating the threat of bad. That's the dig. The bad usually has shown up first and caused the problem you need the good to fix. That's the back-asswardness symmetry of life. There is no symmetry. There's bad and then fixing bad. Yeah, there's no... Life doesn't have a good engine built into it. It has to create the bad to make the good visible. But he won't understand any of that because he's a fucking idiot.
Sort of without meaning to, positing.
Oh, he posited. Probably shouldn't do that.
The existence of an I, or of an identity. Now, you look at that and you sort of say, okay, what does that mean? What does it mean for there to be something on the receiving end of pleasure and suffering?
Wow, I would say it means absolutely nothing. Yes, it's just too obvious a fucking goddamn fact. So I don't think it could mean too much.
Well, the I apparently exists. It's an illusion, though. Okay.
Yes, the idea that your brain is actively involved in something really important and blah blah blah. No, it's all just programs, you know. It's all just a bunch of little wheels turning, and they're going to turn a certain way, and the clock will move, and that's all it is. There's nothing There's no I am doing something thing. There is I am experiencing. That is true. No doubt about that. But that part is just, it's not that it's so much of it that it's an illusion. Certainly all conscious function is probably an illusion. The point is that it's abstract. It's not, we're not doing something, connected to something bigger. It's just boulders rolling down hills inside our head, neurons firing in a very programmed manner. So there's nothing terribly I did it kind of thing. It just doesn't work.
An illusion visited upon what?
Visited upon our consciousness. Yes, this idea that we are conscious. Our brains created this elaborate internal reality. We sense the real world. Our brain creates a construct of it, and then it creates an eyeball to look at it. Why is that so woo-woo, impossible to understand? Yeah, it's really weird, but it had 4 billion years to build it. So yeah, weird was a possibility.
It's sort of interesting, like when you try and explain the eye as an illusion.
Why do you bother doing that? Like I said, what else is the eye going to be? A gift from God? It's the aliens just seeing the world through us? It's a program? It's the Matrix? You just come up with some other bullshit that's still going to be somebody who needed to draw it on a piece of paper or something. It's just a biological function. Consciousness works. It makes an organism that can basically create value perceptions. It can see things in the world, it can impose value on them, and now it can react to the value in the sense that you will have a feeling. You'll be hungry or horny, it'll be attractive or it'll be repulsive. It works as a way of making the environment active, making it actively say something like run or masturbate. Pick one.
You end up just sort of in something resembling infinite regression, or at least...
Well, I'm sorry, you really don't. Not that complicated. Reflexes, piled on top of reflexes, piled on top of reflexes. Doesn't require any infinite regression bullshit.
A circular argument. It's often even framed in terms of a circular argument with the two mirrors facing each other. That is just a circular argument or infinite regression or a tautology or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, well, again, this is all your bullshit interpretation. You just make the accusation. I just straw-manned consciousness now. So you just straw-manned it, said, no, there's no other way to explain this or understand this. You must understand it, that it's impossible. It can't possibly be happening. Yeah, it's happening.
Call it. In the end, though, you're left with the seeming paradox of that which does not exist being convinced that it does exist.
All right, well, whatever. See, that which does not exist. Well, we know consciousness exists. We know that it functions. We see the world and our brain reacts to it. So we know the knee-jerks exist. So why pretend that makes sense, what you just said? That there's some non-existing thing pretending it exists. Well, who cares if it's pretending? Who cares if it's all just an illusion inside of a brain, a hologram made by brains? We all experience it. There's no way there's no way you're gonna convince me it's an irrelevant illusion. It's clearly relevant. So why is this important? Oh, that's right. It's important to you because you want to make everything go away. You want to turn everything into a cartoon in a comic book, and therefore there's no real characters involved. Nothing real to worry about here. So I can just do whatever the fuck I want. It doesn't matter. Really. Well, it really does. Jackass.
Now, what do you do with paradoxes like that? Well, you could just go back to the three fundamental rules or laws of classical logic and say...
Yeah, right. This classical logic that you'll throw in or out of the basket at your own personal what's in it for me discretion. So here some asshole who says logic is a tool is going to tell us what classical logic is. Yeah, right.
That is wrong. There has to be an I, right? because if something is tricked in.
Again, there doesn't have to be any I. It's just the programs, right? Whatever program's running at the time. You're right now. I'm running the I'm fucking irritated program. Jesus fucking Christ! I wish there was better things to do on this fucking internet than argue with motherfucking cunt assholes. That program's running. That's it. So yeah, the I right now is just kind of pissed and irritated that I have to demean myself and lower myself to fucking talk to goddamn flatworms. But unfortunately, most of the human race is a goddamn stupid, ignorant, motherfucking cunt flatworm. Shit.
Into thinking that it exists, it has to pre-exist in order to be tricked into thinking anything.
Whatever, tricked into thinking. So again, we can't just make some logical deductions. We observe the world. We know that our senses are generally speaking reliable, whether or not the fact that our brain embellishes everything we perceive. It perceives certain colors as hostile. It perceives this as this. It adds embellishment to everything. But we do know that we can think outside of the embellishment, that we can do the forest through the tree thing, and that we can recognize that our emotions can sometimes be wavy little trees that are just going to distract us from the real story we're trying to understand. Fuck.
But again, no, there is no I. Unless, of course, Benatar is sort of saying that there is an I on a certain level. Now, that's the interesting part.
He's saying there's a consciousness, so clearly he's saying, yes, that's how we perceive it. It's a consciousness. It's a brain. A brain manifests these feelings. Yeah, duh. You are obsessed with saying, I'm going to call that an I, and I'm not going to let you say it's anything else. So you're not allowed to say your brain does something. You must say your I does something. No, my eye doesn't do shit. My brain does shit.
He talks about people do things for selfish reasons. Now that's motive, right? Now that's sort of, now motive does seem to be desire. You want something. Now, desire again requires an I.
There you go again. So again, he's going to hook everything to some concept that desire doesn't require a brain. It requires an I. What? This is not worth my time. So I'm sorry. This is just too stupid, too juvenile, too crooked an argument, too unfair an argument. Just disgusting. Look at this. At 43 views, it had 8 likes for this evasive nonsense. I have to have an eye, or I can't understand what a car is. Do it without eyeing all over it. Oh, God, I hate these people. So anyway, a comment I wanted to get to is that Morbid Atheist, he leaves some comments and I'm saying, what the fuck are you up to, buddy? You have to watch Interstellar. Why would I have to watch it? I mean, all I've heard is that it's a preposterously stupid movie. I mean, not just a little bit stupid, but I just mean magnificently stupid. I mean, just the whole thing. Wormhole? Get fucking real. Navigatable wormholes. How convenient. Just ignore all the love bullshit. Well, I didn't even want to think about that, but I did see a couple of clips where they're saying the universe is love, or the planet, this is the love planet, or some kind of crap like that. And you're just like, what the fuck is wrong with these people? How can they make a space movie and talk about love? I mean, that's just grotesque. And then they have the whole human drama shit, right? There's evil people on our spaceship. Fuck. Oh, we must drag the soap opera into space. Always. Forever. Shit. Bullshit and focus on the science. Well, there's no science as far as I can tell. The whole movie is preposterously stupid. I saw one little clip where some asshole was talking about, well, the planet's right next to this black hole, and it has tremendous gravity from the black hole. And, you see, that means our time dilation will be 2 hours, will be 25 years, or some kind of preposterous number like that. Well, if the gravity was that high, okay, there's no way there could even be a surface on the planet. There's no way there could be water or anything like that, because it would all get sucked into the black hole. You can't be in a field of gravity that strong without if the matter is somehow, the planet itself is somehow moving so fast that it's not falling into that gravity, then its velocity is so high that it's liquefying. It's going to be red hot. It's going to have some manifestation of the fact that it is hurling through space so motherfucking goddamn fast, okay, that every time it hits a piece of dust, it lights up. So the movie is stupid. The physics is crap. Absolute fucking crap. I know you don't steal, but you can stream, which is like stealing 0.5. Yeah, I don't mind streaming it if I had a copy of it, but I don't know. I'm not going to pay for a copy. So if you want to send me a copy, it's okay. But, yeah, otherwise, I mean, maybe somebody has an electronic copy they can upload somewhere. Hint, hint, nudge, nudge. But yeah, I'm not buying a piece of shit. Anyway, okay, so enough of that. Let's see. Oh, Gary, they proved a long time ago the sun ellipsed. The sun ellipse. With a sun ellipse. It wasn't a sun ellipse, it was a lunar eclipse, retard. That the light of distant stars were bent by the sun's gravitational force. Right, and I already explained in this video how that isn't consistent with the Hubble telescope results. It isn't consistent with anything else they've discovered. They had to create dark matter to make the lensing make sense when they're looking at other galaxies. So you just ignored the points I make and just keep telling me they already did something. Well, they didn't do it based on anything called evidence. So why are you arguing about this? Because the evidence sucks, jackass. You didn't get that point? I mean, I made it pretty goddamn clear. The evidence absolutely motherfucking cunt sucks. Oh, Jesus Christ. I don't know. There's no point. Anyway, this guy, I don't even know what the fuck he was talking about. So anyway, Numbly Numb did ask the pertinent question, so give him credit for that. Any thoughts as to the motivation for widespread fraud in physics? Yeah, and it is widespread. I mean, lensing, the two-slit experiment, not mentioning the single-slit experiment. I mean, it just seems like they're contriving physics here. They're just fucking completely making it up. Dark energy, dark matter, who the fuck knows? I mean, like I said, they got the scraps they made the Higgs boson out of are incredible, convoluted jibber jabber. They go through a zillions and zillions of photographs until they find one that looks like Richard Nixon. I mean, why don't they just come up with a Richard Nixon, theory of the atomic model? I'm sure if you go through enough of those fucking cloud chamber images, you can find one that's Richard Nixon's nose. God damn it! So that looks like all physics is doing. It looks like complete horseshit. I agree that it seems highly improbable that physicists wouldn't realize such obvious mistakes for 100 years. Well, it seems highly improbable. I'm not saying it's not highly improbable, because it's goddamn truth that they fucking obviously have overlooked it. They're obviously dimmer than they're pretending to be. They're pretending to be really smart because they can do fucking calculus. Well, brav the fuck oh. What you can't do is goddamn logic, you fucking cunts. I mean, settling for wave duality, this stupid Einstein shit of the fucking gravity well. I mean, the more you think about it, the more it's stupid. I mean, why? It's gravity makes things. I mean, it's explaining gravity by using gravity. I mean, it's just fucktarded. It's not an explanation of anything. Anyway, considering the scale of this disinformation campaign, one might even be justified in calling it a conspiracy. No, of sorts. No, they wouldn't, because it'd be obviously there's no way you could keep a secret like that, and these people just don't. They're all too arrogant. You know what I mean? They're all always sticking their bulges out and pretending they're the best or something. So there's no way they would play that game, because one of them would want to be the guy who outed the rest of them. There'd be somebody who would out them. Is it just a product of rabid careerism? No, it's not careerism. It's cheerism within academia. Yeah, it's just where the applause is. So they just talk about shit. They want it to be magical because magical makes money. And that's pretty much all it's about. It's about making themselves seem like they're witch doctors, right? And the witch doctor's not going to give away the secret that, oh, I just picked some herbs, and ground them up, and then I gave you the medicine, and yeah, I didn't have any, all this voodoo-y stuff I did, and I did this mumbo jumbo, and I did this dance, all that crap was just bullshit. The medicine is what made you feel better. Yeah, they don't want to give away any of their power. Or are they hiding better understanding for other reasons? Yeah, well, I don't know what they're doing, but obviously they haven't really given physics any thought. And you can kind of see it in the casual way that Feynman dismissed Lesage gravity. He did it in this silly, well, what if you run in the raindrops are going to hit you, I mean, like he's supposed to be a fucking physicist. And again, all these physicists with this two-slit experiment, not one of them spent a little bit of time saying, well, this surface thing seems to really be the game. How close is the light to the surface is, and never even thinking about the fact that matter wouldn't be just some kind of glass wall. On the atomic scale, there's no such thing as a glass wall in atom world. Atom world doesn't have glass walls. It has empty space with little blobs of spinning shit. No smooth walls in the atomic world. I have to make a mocking joke about that because not one fucking named physicist seems to be capable of understanding that. That the empty space between the atoms is the same empty space in the big universe, and if you're going to create all this dark crap, you're going to have to shove it inside of atoms too. Fuck. So anyway. It's quite irritating all the way around. So I don't know. I think it's probably enough, right? I don't think I mean, and kind of I made another stupid fucking free will video, I guess. Well, let's just watch the beginning of it and laugh at it and then go away. I mean, since we've already done a little bit of it, we might as well do a little more anti-quantified just for the fun of it. I didn't really mean to say. I wasn't saying that.
Here's a little experiment.
Oh, his pajamas.
Hold your breath.
Yeah, exciting.
Hold it some more.
No, let's get to it, asshole.
Keep holding it until your face turns red.
Why?
You start to feel a weird mixture of stress, fear, anxiety, and temptation. Stress, fear, anxiety at not having any oxygen, and temptation about how good it's going to feel when you finally go.
I don't even think you do that. Do you really? So when you hold your breath like underwater or something, or some kind of reason, something smelly on the side of the road, you sit there and think about how good it's going to feel when you finally breathe. No, you're just recognizing how uncomfortable this is, and you know that you're just not going to be able to hold out much longer, and then you breathe. But you really don't think about, oh yeah, it's going to feel so good when I get to breathe. Well, if you haven't really passed the smelly thing, it ain't going to feel so fucking good. Truth.
So you have desires, two strong desires at play here that aren't necessarily competing with each other. They run concurrently, right? You have a desire to cease a negative experience, and you have a desire to experience a positive experience.
Okay, so again, he's telling me what I feel, so forget it. No, I don't do, that's not what I do, so whatever. Silly person, not even close. If I have cancer, I don't want to have cancer. There's no competing desire except I don't want to have cancer. If I have a headache, I don't want to have a headache, period. No competing desires. Stupid bullshit. Anyway, I'm not thinking about how good it's going to feel when I don't have cancer. No, I'm just quite aware of how bad it feels having cancer, and I'm not going to be wanting to feel bad. Duh. Anyway, there's no point. Assholes. I don't know what's with these weird video recommendations. Anyway, till next time and such, so forth and whatnot.